the delay there, but we'll get to everybody, so don't worry. Who wants to go first?
I think one of the main things we were interested in is you said something about the wrecking ball to the case. The grand jury only came back with a very less significant charge.
Yes, they initially, the theory of the government's case here was that Kelsey intended to murder a cop, which is outrageous and completely ridiculous of an assertion. And here, thankfully, the Essex County grand jury, and Kelsey's extremely grateful to that body for looking at the case in a realistic way. They found that their appropriate charge here was one count of assault with a dangerous weapon, which involves the apparent display of a weapon to cause someone to be placed in fear. A very, very low bar, and that's all they came back with, was that one charge. And if you look at the sentencing guidelines, she's in a position where she could very likely get a probationary sentence on this if she were guilty of it, which she is not. But the playing field has been radically shaved down. It's just really a totally different case now.
It seems like we're seeing a lot of these cases in recent times with the postpartum. Is she just having some issues that you made the argument today, so she can continue on trying to get some resolve to that?
Yeah, I mean, postpartum depression, one of the most common afflictions that a woman could have, giving birth, having a baby. It's a transient condition. That's the biggest word of the day on that, is that our experts and the Mass General experts recognize that postpartum depression is a transient condition. That's gone. She's fine. She needs her baby back. She's never been heard in a court. The only body that's heard any evidence is the grand jury, and even there was no cross-examination, and they still put the brakes on this. They still said this is at best, as a matter of probable cause, the lowest standard in the law, the lowest hanging fruit, that at best this is an assault. And it's just a completely different case. And like I said, the grand jury took a wrecking ball and destroyed the Commonwealth's case and completely rejected their theory that this was any sort of an attempted murder type scenario. This is a woman who was suffering from an affliction, who, based on words on a piece of paper, had 3 policemen come to her house and take her 5-month-old baby. A woman who's in the grips of postpartum depression, who was just scheduled to go back to work at the police department, was cleared, had her firearms given back, and her whole world was taken away from her because a guy went to the probate court right over there, filled out a piece of paper full of self-serving allegations, and got her baby. So that's what we're dealing with here. And unimaginable.
What do you make of the judge's order today? Obviously, she's going to be able to go home, get out of prison, get out of jail. Is that sort of a step in the right direction?
Yes, the case is going in the right direction, and we appreciate Judge McCarthy's attention to the case. I think that she is being extremely cautious with the amount of conditions that she put on the case, but we will endeavor to comply with every condition she wishes, and we're committed. Kelsey is very committed to showing this court, showing the judge that she's fine, that she's in control, that she's not a danger. The only thing that's been aggravating her postpartum is having her baby taken away, being on the receiving end of these self-serving allegations, and then being charged with a heinous crime that ultimately was rejected by the grand jury. So we're now going in the right direction here. We're very optimistic that this case is going to get dealt with in the appropriate way. And for the short term, we respect the judge's ruling. We're happy to get these conditions in place, and we're going to show the court that this is not a problem for Kelsey Fitzsimmons. She's a cop. She's a CO, former CO. She's not some criminal who needs to be clamped down, and she's going to show that to the court, that she's going to handle these conditions, and she's going to do just fine.
When will Kelsey be released to her family?
Well, I think that through some Herculean efforts to get the court to get all these things in place, I think it's going to be tomorrow. So we're going to be very happy about that date.
Well, parents put a lot on the line. When the judge had them swearing, do they want to say anything about their daughter?
You know, mom and dad and stepdad are wonderful, and they have put so much into this, and the families put so much effort into this. And I was just saying to them inside that when you have a great family behind you in court, literally they're behind you in court, that makes my job so much easier to say, Your Honor, look at this great family that's going to step up and make this right. And I think Judge McCarthy would agree that, you know, it makes a huge difference that she can see this family, and they stepped up in every way she asked, and they're going to make sure this is a success. We're not in any way concerned about that.
And there is a hearing coming up on the restraining order. What are you hoping happens there?
So we're going to assess our options on that. We have to look at that hearing in light of this order today, and we haven't made any decisions yet, but we're going to do everything we can to reunite Kelsey with her baby when we can get the judge here to look at the case anew and figure out that issue. So it's in the works.
And it sounds like you were trying to fight her on that 58A dangerousness finding. Why was that an important
Well, you know,
step?
it's just a step that we felt the judge didn't need to go that far. There are other provisions in the bail statute where someone can agree to terms of release. The court is empowered to make certain terms of release on its own. So we just felt that it wasn't necessary to go to that level of making such a declaration. And we'll have to see where that goes in the future. But we're optimistic that all those issues will be ironed out in the short term. And for now, obviously, we're going to do everything we can to comply with all these provisions.
Thank you, Counsel.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.